right, testing to make sure my mic is on. All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Note. It is 9:03 Eastern Standard Time. Here on a Monday, April 4th, my name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me today and every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My apologies for not doing one on Friday. As you know, it was a complete mess. I didn't have an extra monitor. Volume wasn't the actual volume input wasn't working. I didn't have my mic. It was a complete shit show. So now back at home base, all good here. Let's go ahead and talk about the markets. Here we go. Dow futures down 28 points, which the banks are actually down. JP Morgan is down, so that's kind of hurting the Dow today. Keep an eye on JP Morgan. Nasdaq up 0.22%. S&P green 45.42. We are long S&P futures. Russell is up 0.11%. I have some IWM calls. Crude oil is up 3% this morning, testing that 100-day moving average on the hourly. Of course, I'm always watching crude. 3.19 for gasoline futures, gold futures, and silver futures are up. 19.35 an ounce for gold, 24.82 for silver. Take a look at euro dollar, down 46 pips, 110.01. 122.66 for the dollar yen, up about 11 pips. Bitcoin futures are down. We had a spike yesterday as high as around 47.5. Now we're at 46,160. Same old deal. Nothing has changed for me. Again, that 46,000 level was a key level. 34.78 for Ethereum this morning. The big news this morning was that Elon Musk took I believe, I can get the exact number. Let's see. I think I had it here, the exact number. All right, Elon Musk takes 9% stake in Twitter. That was the big news overnight. You can see Twitter is up pre-market. If you are trying to trade this, I would not. I would be extremely careful. More than likely, this is going to fade. So a break of 46.33, probably more than likely I wouldn't want to short for a quick banger. What is the volume that you're looking for? Well, that depends. What's your target? You could do 41s for really cheap if it goes retest that 200-day moving average on the hourly. If we go to the daily, we're at 48 pre-market. Again, we'd be right around here. So again, a nice breakout on the daily above 46.34, but now we need to get below 46.34. Let's see if we can get that. I'm not looking to buy Twitter here, if anything, I'm looking to fade it. Again, just because Elon bought shares doesn't mean anything to me in terms of the chart. So again, it could go move higher. It could go to 52.90. Obviously, that'd be your next Fibonacci level. But I think that will just get it fade a little bit as well. Remember GameStop, when they're talking about a stock split, that thing faded too. So again, these kind of spikes are usually opportunities, if anything. So Twitter, I'm not sold on it. I mean, I don't own it, but it is up more than 25% this morning as Elon takes a 9% stake. Does that really make a difference in anything? I don't see so. I don't think so. I know social media is such a big deal now in terms of censorship, what you can say, what you can't say. Elon's taking a step forward. Maybe he wants to go and kind of control Twitter and kind of change things. Maybe an edit button. Who knows? Also, JP Morgan shares turn negative after CEO Jamie Dimon warns of a potential $1 billion loss from Russian exposure. So you can see it's down about $1. It's not even $1. It's down about 60 cents. There is a gap to fill up around 135. Would I trade it? No. There is a gap to fill downside around 132.63. I would love to add some shares right around 129. I do own shares of JP Morgan. Let's see. AMD returns to deal making with a $1.9 billion purchase of chip specialist Pensado. Let's take a look at AMD. I still have calls, the 130s for a while. Again, I'm holding them. I know a breakdown. Again, let's see if it holds above. Again, I expect us to bounce this week. So again, let's see if AMD can get to 113 and move forward. It's 2 weeks away. It's not even expiring this week. It expires next week. So back to S&P futures. Going to the daily, you can see here, still holding that 100-day moving average. I bet that we're going to go and break. My target for the week is 46.42. And I think that we do get there this week. Obviously, we'll get some shakes here and there. It's not going to be just green arrows across the board. It just doesn't work like that. Good morning. Good morning, Carlos. Thoughts on Apple calls for the week? Again, Apple doesn't look too bad. A break of 175 would get interesting if we break that 100 and that 50-day moving average. Let's put it at 175.80. Break to the upside, I would go ahead and take a look at some calls. Your support is right around 172.32. You really have as high as around 178 to 180 to play with. Looking at SPY today, SPY is right at 453.45. Again, same thing as the mini futures, holding on to that level. If we bring up the daily, more than likely it's probably holding that 100-day. A break of 458.03, I take a look at the 460 calls, if anything. Good morning, Carlos. Do you think the bull run is now validated since we went below 45.50? No. The only way the bull run, to me, this would be invalidated, would be a break of 4,400. That 4,400, it's basically, this was all a bull trap. I don't think we get there. I think we got a little bit of a pullback. We had some gaps to fill. Now we continue to the upside. I think 46.42 this week happens. What am I watching today? I'm watching definitely Twitter, see if I can catch that. I usually catch those, especially with timing. So a break of 46.34, I'm looking to short Twitter. So let's see if Twitter gives me some opportunity. JPM, I took a look at, not much there. Apple's the other one I'm looking at. Apple, a break of 175.80. And then I was looking at Microsoft too. Maybe a break of around 311.50. I'd probably take a look at the 315 calls. They probably have great volume. Let's see if they do. At the end of the day, I can't really predict that ahead of time. Thoughts on NIO? NIO I own long term. There is a gap to fill. More than likely it will, around 22.22. If you want to play that bounce or load up there, that's fine too. I have not added more shares of NIO. I do love the company though. Let's see if we break down below 20. I'll go ahead and add some more. Let's see, Tesla 1120 calls. Tesla is up marginally this morning. Really, you need to break the highs, 1124. If you start breaking 1124, then you can start going as according to how you want to go in terms of the volume. Maybe you'll take a look at the 1200 calls or something like that. The issue with Tesla is just so damn expensive due to demand. And of course, IV, implied volatility. Can you chart Google's support? Yeah, let's take a look at it. Google, same thing as Google, same deal. Really, the support on the hourly is around 27.75. If you're looking at the daily, you're really looking around 2,500. I think 2,500 is a great place to add some more. 25.70 is okay. Again, you see have almost like a quad bottom there on Google. I think Google is a great company to own long term. You want to own that. 25.70 isn't a bad price. Maybe 2,600 if you want to go ahead and buy a little early. But again, you need a little bit more of a dip. This is not perfect yet. Now, if we start breaking above 3,000, sure, you might miss the entry. But at the end of the day, if you own an S&P index, you own Google anyway. So you more than likely have a position in Google. Thoughts on BABA? I own BABA long term. Love them as always. There was some news on the ADRs. Again, regarding audits and stuff. They're up pre-market just as NEO. Break 123.25. Then we're talking break below 98. I'll be buying some more shares of BABA. Definitely want to put some money to work. Morning calls. Thoughts on AMD for calls? I do own some calls on AMD. But if you're looking to actually play some calls, maybe above 112, 113 would be safe. That's your 50-day moving average. Maybe 113.05 would be your best bet. It gives you a little more room. We talked about NEO already. Facebook is something I'm looking at too. Again, I want to see a break of around 231. If that happens, then I'm trying to take a look at some calls, possibly buying some more shares as well. I definitely want to own Facebook. It's extremely cheap. And thoughts on, we just talked about BABA. 120 calls, I don't know if I want to do 120 calls here. Again, 120 is your resistance. So again, I would rather wait for the break of 123.25 and then go on further because there's a lot more gaps to the upside on Alibaba than anything else. Then you start taking a look at 123.25. It'll probably fill that 124 gap. And then you also have another gap here around 130.59. So there's definitely some room there. I will probably take a look at the 130s, if anything. And IWM, I do have calls for Wednesday on that. IW just needs to break above 209 and you're home. That's basically it. And it is looking very nice. Well, it's up 30 cents. Not too bad, but not a lot of volume in futures as I've seen lately. So let's go ahead and see where we are in terms of the market. I want to take a look at VIX. I want to take a look at the dollar. I want to take a look at yields. Yields are pretty much marginally flat. The dollar right now is up 0.24%. The VIX is up 3.5% with the NASDAQ green. Thank you, Twitter, being up 22%. But good stuff all around. Again, let's make it a great week. It's a brand new month. We had an NFP on Monday. We didn't have the exact reaction that I expected. But again, a nice bounce, a bullish close. I expect us to be bullish for the rest of the week. April, seasonally speaking, is very strong. So let's keep it together. Let's keep it tight. Let's make sure that we're researching. Let's make sure we're using proper risk management. And let's make it our week. Let's make it a killer week. And then move on. As April comes aboard, it's springtime now. And usually, seasonally, the market does pretty well. In May, that's when it kind of slows down a little bit. There's some short opportunities possibly, but I think April's going to be a monster month after a dismal quarter. March was great in terms of equities, but we'll see where we go from there. Have a great rest of your morning. We'll catch you guys later on the morning note. I'll be blogging live on Twitter. I'll see you then. Cheers.